Coming up, how to start your Ender3pro on fire. Hi guys, Chris Sergeant Taz here. So the other day I was printing like I normally do, and I had an issue with filament getting clogged in the hot end. So being the do-it-yourselfer, I took it apart and somehow inadvertently broke the heater cartridge while messing with the hot end. So I figured I had a ton of spare parts. I'd make the fix myself, no big deal, and I'd be back up and running. Clearly, I'm not back up and running. So what had happened was I inadvertently grabbed the wrong heater cartridge. I had a 12-volt one. I soldered it all together. I had it all ready to go, and I powered the machine up. What's scary is instant heater runoff. That thing went up to 200 degrees Celsius in a matter of seconds, literally seconds. So keep in mind, never ever replace your heater cartridge with a 12 volt on a 24 volt system. What also concerned me was I do have the upgraded firmware in here, and the thermal runoff didn't shut off the printer. It just kept going. And if I hadn't been like mindful that I had made some changes and been standing there, it could have been catastrophic. So keep that in mind. Do not use a 12 volt cartridge in a 24 volt system. So I've been working on some print jobs, and unfortunately I had a problem with my hot end. In my rush to try and fix it, I didn't realize which part I grabbed. So when I was replacing the hot end, I inadvertently crimped and messed up my heater cartridge, and thinking, oh, I have a spare, I replaced it with the wrong spare. You have to remember that the Ender 3s are 24 volt, not 12. I inadvertently put a 12 volt heater on here, and it immediately ramped up and almost started a fire. So keep this in mind. If you're going to have replacement parts and you have multiple printers, I thought I had them for the Ender 3. I actually had it for the Delta, which is 12. So 12 volts don't work on these, and unfortunately the firmware didn't detect the heater runoff either, which scared me because it actually started smoking and got really, really hot really, really fast. So keep that in mind. Don't replace anything with 12 volt on this, because you'll get a big surprise. And been standing there, it could have been catastrophic. So keep that in mind. Do not use a 12 volt cartridge in a 24 volt system. This did afford me an opportunity though. I'm waiting on the 24 volts because I guess I only had 12 volt ones, because I had them for the Delta, which is behind my head. Somehow, behind my head. There we go. I had extra for those. I didn't have extra for the Enders for some reason. You think I'd have, I got two Enders, you think I'd have an extra heater cartridge, and I don't. So I ordered those, and when they come in, I'm actually probably going to do a video and also add the MOSFETs to that while I'm at it. So I figure I'll do the whole MOSFET setup and replace the whole hot end. I'm actually going to put a new thermistor into a screw-in thermistor instead of using the wire with a with a little screw they use. I found from GulfCoast electronics had screw-in ones, and then you can also make it so it's a quick release, so if you have a problem with one of those, you can actually just take it off without having to cut wires or do resoldering. So I'm going to install those two things, well actually three, because I'm going to put two MOSFETs on it. So that'll be my next video, hopefully, me working on that and not starting a fire. So you've seen the video of why and what I did, just to give you a reference for what's going on. I also did an update, which I'm going to show you in a sec here, on the TronXY X5ST. So just a quick update. I'm obviously printing something, but I redid the mounts. I actually made these and put these on Thingiverse, and these should work for adding a 400 or 500 millimeter bed to your existing X5 series. So I put them on Thingiverse. I'll put the link down in the description for you guys if you want to download them, and it just makes it easier. The ones I got listed up there don't have the holes drilled, so you can position the bed where you need to, and then just update your firmware. And I obviously purchased a 400 or 500 millimeter bed. Yeah, so I was printing a large scale Eiffel Tower for my daughter, and I've had some issues overnight. This happened here with a layer shift, because for some reason all the filament got wrapped around that gear last night, and I had to cut it and try and stop it and get it going. I also did some other updates to this printer. I put the Capricorn tubing on, which is always a good plus. I was on Thingiverse and I got these little clips instead of using wire ties or zip ties. I got these, and it actually makes it better. I actually got the belts really tight on here, so now they're actually very nice and tight. They don't get any slack. I upgraded the cooling fans housing, so now it's not blowing directly onto the heat block from the main fan, and you get better part cooling instead of blowing directly on the heat block with the big fan. So did those things, and we're getting there. A few more tweaks. I'm going to try and get rid of some of this stringy effect I'm getting, but we'll get it done. Just remember 12 and 24 volt depending on what you're using, and stay safe. Thanks for watching. See ya.